Alright, all you Streetlight Crusaders, and I guess a couple of you wrestling fans out there tonight, welcome back to the Tuesday Night Special. And now it's time for us to talk about what happened during this week's edition of Monday Night Raw from the Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. And Maestro said at this point I should stop including that intro, but at this point, I've been doing it for so long, it's become second nature. So yeah, we're gonna continue to do it, even though it's taking place in the same place, probably for the next couple of months. But besides all of that, folks, Monday Night Raw would kick off with none other than the man Becky Lynch, following the highlights of Mr. and Mrs. Money in the Bank's big title picture win, and would reveal that not only that she thanked the fans for getting her where she was, but would also say that now she has a big important announcement for the Money in the Bank ladder match winner on the women's side, seeing the fact that she's going away. Only for Asuka to come out and say something in Japanese, most likely don't go, where do you think you're going, and I want that title, only for Becky Lynch to reveal that what you were fighting for last night was for so much more. Because you were fighting not only for that Money in the Bank briefcase, but you were fighting for the Raw Women's Championship. Wait, what? And Asuka, with a confused look on her face, would realize that she would make history this night, because not only she would be the first woman in history to become a modern-day Grand Slam Women's Champion, something that Charlotte Flair has yet to do, because she's yet to win the Money in the Bank ladder match, but would also get another shocking case of news from Becky Lynch by her saying, "You go on to be a warrior, and I'm gonna go home to be a mother." Only for my eyes, the locker room's eyes, and I got a feeling everybody watching at home to be shocked as hell for Asuka to actually say, "Congratulations, hug Becky Lynch, cheer Becky on," for Becky to walk backstage and for her to get congratulated by the Ballroom Blitzkrieg tag team of Ricochet and Cedric Alexander, Rey Mysterio, the Viking Raiders, just about everybody you could possibly imagine congratulating Becky Lynch, including us here at the Tuesday Night Special, to the longest reigning women's champion of Monday Night Raw, and probably in history holding on to that belt for an entire year. Still not beating the Fabulous Moolah's championship run of well over 10 years, or was it 25? Either way, still congratulations to Becky Lynch, and good luck being a mother. I'll just say that much. But after that bombshell of an announcement, the next match, or the first match to take place on Monday Night Raw, folks, would be none other than Bobby Lashley going one-on-one against Humberto Carrillo. I'm telling you, they need Ricardo Rodriguez to come back immediately for this guy, since, you know, things are currently going on with Alberto, but that's besides the point, because during this match, Humberto Carrillo would try to use his speed to try to take out Bobby Lashley during this match, only to realize that he was in more of a fight than he could handle, because despite hitting him in the head with an enziguri and trying to go outside the ring to do a crossbody, yeah, let's just say he would get caught out of midair, thrown into the LED turnbuckle post, and then would almost get hit with a steel chair, only for that to get reversed, and for Humberto Carrillo to hit Bobby Lashley with a steel chair on 3 separate occasions, which still would not be enough to stop the Dominator, only for him to apply, I guess, his form of the Master Lock to make Humberto Carrillo tap out in the center of the ring for Bobby Lashley to win this match via submission. And after the match was over, later on in the night, you would hear MVP offering his services to one Bobby Lashley, telling him, when was the last time you got a shot at the WWE Championship? And it was back in 2007, and I think it's time for you to really, truly know your potential and get a shot for that belt. So if you're looking for somebody to reach you there, look no further. And then we'll go on to see Lana in the hallway to tell her, oh, here comes the person who locked up Bobby Lashley's mental skills to prevent him from becoming a champion in the first place. And no disrespect to you, but he could do better. And then for Lana to scream off in the distance, how dare you, how dare you! For the cameras to just pan away just like I did when all of that was going down. Then the next match to take place on Monday Night Raw to get back on track, folks, which would be a little bit of a dissension in the ranks here, which would see Angel Garza going one-on-one against Akira Tozawa. And during this match, or should I say prior to this match, Angel Garza and Austin Theory, along with none other than an Idolo himself, Andrade Cien Almas, all arguing back and forth about what happened for their Money in the Bank opportunities, and amongst other things because they were getting on each other's nerves. Well, that's what will happen if you're isolated in one situation with a whole bunch of people during a national pandemic. But that might be something entirely different from what was going on. But needless to say, during this match, Angel Garza in firm control, Akira Tozawa trying to fight back, but unfortunately would find himself getting his wings clipped in the center of the ring, while Angel Garza would taunt Austin Theory all the way to the victory circle for him to win this match via pinfall. And after the match was over, they would continue their triangular bickering until the chosen one, the Scottish Terminator and the WWE Champion, would come out and vocalize his opinion on the matter by ending it by not only Claymore kicking Austin Theory in the face, but also Claymore kicking none other than Angel Garza in the face, causing him to just flip over the ropes and take a nasty bump to the outside of the ring, which would lead to the next match of the night, which would see none other than a impromptu champion versus champion match between none other than Andrade Cien Almas going one-on-one against Drew McIntyre. And during this match, Drew McIntyre absolutely dominant chops to the chest, and even causing Andrade Cien Almas to take a break to the outside of the ring after a kick right to the chest that almost looked like a claymore, only for Drew McIntyre to continue his endless assault, and for Andrade Cien Almas to take advantage by actually taking the arm of one Drew McIntyre and banging it against the metal apron, and would decide to try to work on that said arm to try to neutralize the power of the Scotsman. But unfortunately, yeah, that wasn't happening, because after all that damage to the arm, Drew McIntyre still found that fighting spirit within and would decide to toss Andrade pillar to post with repeated belly-to-belly suplexes, which would eventually end with not only an inverted Alabama slam after Andrade would be able to hit the double knees in the corner, but would end ultimately with a claymore in the center of the ring for Drew McIntyre to win this match via pinfall. And it looks like Drew McIntyre has finally taken the advice of one Samoa Joe at commentary from last night's Money in the Bank to talk less and clay more. And I got a feeling that's going to be on a t-shirt before the end of this year. Mark my words, folks. And after the match was over, Drew McIntyre would issue a challenge to none other than Baron Corbin from SmackDown for a WWE Championship match next time they meet. Really? So that was another reason why MVP was talking backstage to Bobby Lashley about his championship record and the fact that he wasn't able to get a championship shot since 2007. And the last time I remembered in 2007, that was somewhere around the Great American Bash. Yeah, it was Lashley at the Bashley, according to Mick Foley. I actually remember that because it rhymed and because it was Mick Foley and also because it was funny. And the next thing to take place on Monday Night Raw, which was no laughing matter, would be another moment of bliss with Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. Not only congratulating the new mother and former Raw Women's Champion, but would go on to just get interrupted by the return of the Iconics, where they would announce that they won a title shot for the Raw Tag Team Championships of the women's variety, and would go on to say that they don't care about no baby in the stomach of Becky Lynch, only for Nikki Cross to shout out and say, well, I don't care about you guys, and just like Becky Lynch baby in her stomach, these titles are our babies. And it would lead to an impromptu match between the two tag teams, which would see none other than the Iconics pulling off an iconic combo kick to the head of Nikki Cross for a 2 count, and would even see Alexa Bliss doing insult to injury, which was the backflip knees and the knees to the chest for a 2 count, only for this match to come to an emphatic end after one of the members of the Iconics, and I do believe it was Peyton Royce, leading a distraction for Billie Kay to take a shot to the throat of Alexa Bliss, leading into an inverted version of the Magic Killer, which I'm gonna end up calling the Iconics Driver, for them to win this match via pinfall, and most likely earning themselves a shot at the Raw Women's Tag Team Championships in the near future. Nice! And the next match to take place on Monday Night Raw would see none other than R-Truth, Ricochet, and Cedric Alexander becoming the Truthful Ballroom Blitzkrieg team to go one-on-one against MVP, Shane Thorne, and Brendan Vick. And during this match, action would go back and forth, including multiple appearances from none other than Pretty Ricky, which was a gimmick that I thought was dead since the last time R-Truth was on TV, but apparently made an appearance during this match and was even able to help the team of the Ballroom Blitzkrieg get the win during this match with a lie detector from out of nowhere. But even though the move is really called Little Jimmy, and I find it funny he was able to hit it on MVP, seeing the fact that MVP at one point in his career had a version of that move that he called the play of the day. Now, granted, it wasn't the same way that he did it, but hey, you know, potato at this point. But after the match was over and R-Truth was celebrating the ring, Bobby Lashley would come out, spear the Living Daylights flag tag out of R-Truth in less than 24 hours on 2 separate occasions, and then would help MVP back up to his feet for them to discuss a business contract in the near future. Or at least leave the people at home to think that he is, and if that's the case, all they need is Kenny King on that lineup, and it's money, power, and respect all over again. For those who watch TNA, they were in that faction before the Beatdown Clan became official, which was another group that involved Samoa Joe, who was at ringside during all this little, powwowing that's been going on, which means one thing and one thing only, folks. For the second night in a row, we had another Beatdown Clan reunion. Oh man, I knew I was gonna bring it home, but I brought it home in a big way, folks. And besides all that silliness, folks, things would get very serious because the next match to take place on Monday Night Raw would see Rey Mysterio and Aleister Black going one-on-one against Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy. But before this match could take place, Rey Mysterio and Aleister Black would actually reveal how they were able to survive almost falling off the roof of WWE headquarters, and it involved a ladder and I do believe a scaffolding of some kind, and it may have involved a grappling hook in my honest opinion with Aleister Black. But why in the world do I think he's Batman? I don't know. But to the serious part of all of this, folks, Seth Rollins, looking like a zombie at this point, would come and interrupt the interview between Rey Mysterio, Aleister Black, and also Charlie Caruso for Rey Mysterio to congratulate Seth Rollins on becoming a father, only for Seth Rollins to still have that deadpan, dead Linda stare, to quote OSW Review, only for this match to get really ugly after Aleister Black and Rey Mysterio would tag team and the living bejesus out of Murphy because Seth Rollins refused to tag in because he still had that deadpan stare. And during this two-team assault, you would not only see an Aleister Black tiger knee to the face, but you will also see Rey Mysterio pulling out some classic Rey Mysterio moves with a handspring bulldog combination, and even knocking Seth Rollins off the apron to try to attempt to dial the San Diego area code, only for his call to get interrupted by Seth Rollins, who would jab him in the eye, punch him in the eye, and then next thing you know, tried to take his eye out with the ring steps. And I tried to sync this up with the music from, I do believe, the first 28 Days Later, and yeah, it's just as horrifying as I could possibly imagine. And after he would get his eye gouged out, almost, you would see Rey Mysterio with a towel with blood on it and his eye being covered, for Seth Rollins to try to come backstage and apologize for his actions, only for Aleister Black not to hear it, Murphy to try to stop Aleister from getting his hands on Seth, and for Aleister Black to beat the living daylights flag tag out of one, I guess, Murphy. Murphy, who tried to be Peacemaker, got the crap kicked out of him. Ultimately, what happened during this whole situation. And then immediately after that madness and throughout the night, we would see something we wouldn't see since the last time MVP and Matt Hardy teamed up together, and it's a good old-fashioned game of basketball between the Street Profits and the Viking Raiders. And the only reason this happened is because the classic line that MVP and Matt Hardy used back in the day, anything you could do, I can do better. I can do anything better than you. No, you can't. Yes, I can. No, you can't. Yes, I can. No, you can't. Yes, I can. And besides that William Shatner, I guess, classic song rendition, folks, during this whole basketball contest, the Viking Raiders, who looked like they didn't know a basketball from a Blarney Stone, would end up losing this basketball contest 55-0. Only for the Viking Raiders to prove that they let them win by pulling off a whole bunch of half-court shots and doing some Harlem Globetrotter tricks, almost like the Street Profits did during this game of basketball. Now, I might be a little bit off here, but I'm pretty sure that the Viking Raiders beat the Street Profits. They didn't get a championship title match at Money in the Bank, and yet they're now playing basketball. What does this have to do with the Raw Tag Team Championships? I do not know. Unless this is one of those triathlon things they have to do before they get the championships, it makes no sense. Like Albanian Money in America, it makes absolutely no sense. But the next match to take place on Monday Night Raw and the main event of the evening would see none other than Natalya going one-on-one against Shayna Baszler. And the only reason this match is taking place is because Shayna Baszler, who believed that Becky Lynch used this pregnancy as a way for her to become the longest reigning Raw Women's Champion in history, but would also call her baby a parasite and would say that it's going to end up making her weaker than she already is, only for Natalya to come out and say, how dare you disrespect the beautiful beauty of motherhood, only for Shayna Baszler to chime in once again to say, if you ever get pregnant, the same thing's gonna happen to you, leading into this match where Natalya would try to use her submission skills from the Heart Dungeon to try to take out the Queen of Spades, only for the Queen of Spades to counteract her O'Connor roll for a near fall in submission attempts to lead into a nasty, brutal, disgusting tiger knee right to the face of one Natalya for Shayna Baszler to win this match and prove that the Queen of Spades is just a little bit better than the Queen of Hearts via pinfall. And not to mention, during this match, also tried to break the arm of Natalya for that to absolutely not work either. And after all that excitement that would happen for the night, we would see the return for the first time since this year's past WrestleMania of the Rated R Superstar Edge, who would come out to the ring and say that he finally got his closure against Randy Orton. And just before he was about to go away into the shadows again, next thing you know, Randy Orton would come out and throw Edge's words back at him by saying, congratulations, but also saying that you beat me in a last man standing match at WrestleMania, and said that you were going to make me a better performer, that you said I was a Hall of Famer, and everything else under the sun, but now I want to challenge you one-on-one if you have the guts and if you have the passion and the grit that you believe you do, to fight me in a match, a wrestling match at Backlash. Only for Edge to say absolutely nothing, and for Charlie Caruso to end the night off by saying, if this does go down, it'll be one of the greatest wrestling matches ever. For the music of one Randy Orton to hit, and for the lights to go out for Monday Night Raw for this week. And before I forget, and thank you for reminding me, Maestro, Baron Corbin would reveal that both Rey Mysterio and Aleister Black would fall onto a secondary roof and would not be harmed after being thrown off WWE headquarters. What secondary roof? I didn't see one. Well, besides all of that, folks, that wraps it up for Monday Night Raw for this week, which means it's time for us to get out of here, grab a glass of water, and when we return, we'll be back with more Tuesday Night Delight as the streetlights burn bright as the Tuesday Night Special rolls on right after this. So don't fall asleep just yet, folks, and stay tuned.